y'all see all this? Like, it's not even all that's here. There's more. This video is probably gonna be a bit of a longer one. Get yourself a snack, get some tea, get cozy. We're probably gonna be here for a while. Hello everyone and welcome to a pretty long video. I'm assuming this is gonna be a pretty long one because today we have ventured into my manga collection. And so today I am going to be giving you guys my opinions on every single one of these romance couples / series. These are the ones that I have picked. I've handpicked them from my collection that I feel like kind of focus around romance. There's a couple series that I have that has romance in them, but it's not quite the main focus. Like, for example, I wouldn't put Spy Family in this, even though there is a little bit of romance in that. I'm not going to put stuff like that in here because it's not necessarily a romance story. These though, these are like romance stories, and that's kind of my thing. So I have a lot. So anyway, we have, I'll count these up for you and put them on the screen. We have this many to go through today. So yeah, make sure you get that snack because you're gonna need it. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So I have these done out in stacks, so I'm gonna try my best to get through the stacks. So the first one that I have is a pretty popular one, which is McCoy, Now I'm in Love. This one I have completed. So this is focusing on two couples. We have our main couple and then we have our side couple who it doesn't even show them in this one. It's all about the first couple. I would definitely rate this one probably like an 8 out of 10. This was great. This is exactly what I wanted. Like, exactly. I wasn't necessarily too thrilled with the main couple, so that's why I am kind of giving it an 8 out of 10, because personally, I think I liked the secondary couple so much more. Like, I wanted more about the secondary couple, which is kind of like the bad boy and the cutesy girl who isn't necessarily as innocent as she kind of portrays herself to be, and then these two are kind of just very awkward, and like she's kind of like soft and like kind of like reserved a little bit, and then he's also kind of like bad boy looking, but he's also like pretty soft and a little bit awkward, and genuinely they make a really good couple. This was a really good series, and I really hope that it is converted into a manga or an anime because it is so good. I adore this series. So definitely this one was one of the best ones that I have ever read. So if you have not checked out this one, it is completed, by the way. Definitely check out McCoy, Now I'm in Love. It was so good. It's very cute. If you like a good wholesome series, like this is very wholesome. There are some kind of spicy scenes kind of towards the end with the secondary couple, because like I said, the girl there, she kind of portrays herself as very innocent, but she's really not. But honestly, it was a great time. I love this. I had joy reading every single volume, so this one, very high ranking for me. Next we have Horimiya. Fun fact, I'm actually going back and watching the Horimiya, like, you know, the part they didn't put in the original series. I forgot what it's called, but like, you know, the other parts of the manga that they took out. I love Horimiya. I have to say it. I know when animes like this get so like popular, so mainstream, that like people are like, oh my god, you cannot rank that so high. I don't care. I'm gonna be ranking Horimiya very high because it was so good. I read the manga before it started like really coming out as an anime, and I cannot stress to you just how good this is. I cannot stress how good Miyamura looks with the long hair. The long hair, the kind of short hair, not the short hair at the end. We don't speak about those haircuts. Anyway, Miyamura was always a snack. Always a snack, always a snack. And genuinely, I really love their relationship. I love how they both kind of learn things from each other. Obviously, Hori realizes, you know, just how like sad kind of Miyamura's had it, but she also takes a lot of lessons from him. And also, you know, Miyamura learns to be brave via Hori. So like, they complement each other so well. The only bad thing that I really don't like about this couple is just the fact that Hori is one of those girls who uses violence for everything. If she has any problem, she solves it with violence. And personally, that is not my cup of tea. I don't like the violence kind of thing whether it's friends or relationships or whatnot. I don't like that trope. So for me, I can't rank that as like the highest, but I do love this couple, and I love a lot of the couples. Like Remy and Sugoku are also one of my favorites. I felt really bad for Sakura. Like, this just has a lot of good stuff. It's got a lot of really good relationships. Even if you're not like a huge fan of the main couple, there's other side couples that are really good. Remy and Sugoku, I cannot get over how good they are. You have Remy, who's like very cutesy, kind of like girly, popular girl, who is trying her best because she likes bugs. She loves bugs, and her boyfriend, deathly afraid of bugs. He's not very confident in himself, and she does little things like, there's a spider, get it off of me, to try to like help him get out of his comfort zone. It's just so sweet. I love this one. I would probably put this one also as a 8 out of 10. Next, I can't lie to you guys, this one might have to be a 10 out of 10 for me. When I started this one, I didn't know how much I was really gonna like it, which is Love is War, Kaguya-sama. It's so good. To be fair, I will say, I watched the anime first, and I do have to agree that the manga, the manga does not do it justice like the anime does. I'm sorry, but the way that the anime, just like the narrator sounds, and like just the way that you can really see everything come to life, just does it so much better than the manga. So I would definitely recommend watching the anime over the manga. I watched the anime and then I'm going back and collecting the manga because once again, it is one of my favorite romances of all time. This is a romance, but it's also very heavily a comedy. This is such a hilarious show. I'm sorry, but like, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. I love the fact that your main couple, your main characters, Kaguya is so smart, and the president is also so smart. They both know that they like each other. They do, but no one wants to confess it. So they're playing like little brain games with each other to try to get the other one to confess. And it's just funny. It's just funny. Like, it's just a good comedy. And I love that. I love romance, but I really love romance and comedy. And I'm sorry, once again, the narrator really signifies to me how good of a series this is. It's just funny. So I would definitely recommend watching or reading Love is War. This one is special to me. This one is an 11 out of 10. I know, 11 out of 10, really am? Yes. Because this one is my all-time favorite manga series that I just picked up on a whim, and it has inspired so much. It has inspired, 1, a book series that I'm writing, and 2, a VTuber that I'm creating. Like, this has inspired a lot for me, which is which, if which, then which. It's so good. It's so good. It's only a 3-volume series, but it is one of the best ones that I have ever read. So basically, this is a boy, and he's just wearing a wig. He's kind of like cross-dressing because this girl here, she is a witch, and she goes to a magic school, but the boy follows, and she also realizes, you know, she's very weak, which, you know, she doesn't have a lot of like magic and powers or whatnot, but whenever she's with him, for some reason, when she's with him, all of a sudden, she can use magic. Her magic is stronger because he's with her, so they kind of become like a duo witch, but because the school is an all-girls school, he's kind of got to like dress up like a girl to get in. But like, it's so good. Once again, it's kind of like a comedy. It's only 3 volumes. I would love to have this as like maybe like a 12-episode like anime. It would be so good. It would go so hard. I adore the series. It is so good. Like I said, it's only 3 volumes, and if you really want to, definitely pick it up. If you like kind of like the witchy magical girl vibes that I do with a bit of romance, definitely check it out. It's one of those ones that I cannot recommend highly enough. It's genuinely one of my favorites, if not the absolute best series that I have ever read. So the next one we have is also one of my favorites. This one I have not completed. I've only got a few volumes of it, but once again, it's also kind of verging on that comedy line. And I've said this before, but I've been really into like kind of Regency, royal type of mangas and webtoons, manhwas, whatnot. I've been really into that recently. So this one is The Fiance Chosen by the Ring. So you have this girl who is like a seamstress. She's really good at like sewing, and she often embroiders her own dress, as she catches I believe he's the prince or the duke, you know, the royal handsome man of the story. And the way she does this is that the man, he does not want to get married. He's kind of forced to go to this ball where she just happens to be. And he's like, well, I gotta get married, so I'm gonna take this wedding ring and just chuck it into the crowd. Whoever it hits, that's who I'm gonna marry. And lo and behold, that's who she has to marry, is the girl on the cover. It's very funny, very silly, but there's a lot of like, you know, really cute moments between the two. It's just a very sweet one. This one, I haven't read too much of it yet. I only have 2 volumes. So for right now, I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10 because I really like it. Like, I've only read 2 volumes, but they've both been such a good time, and they are like a little bit on the shorter side. Like, for example, it's a little bit smaller, but it's such a good one. And like, the guy is very pretty too. Like, I mean, come on. Kind of giving me those like Ayato vibes from like Genshin Impact. I don't know, the long hair maybe, but it's a good one. If you can't tell, I have this thing with like witchy magical girls and just like witchy series and stuff. So this next one is, hi, I'm a witch and my crush wants me to make a love potion. I know, very, very long title, but oh my god, is this one so good. This one is also kind of like comedy, and once again, it's a little bit more on the shorter side. But basically, you have this witch who is kind of secluded. There's a kingdom, and she's just kind of like on the outskirts of town. You have to kind of get into a boat to get to her like little island. She's like very far away. People are like, oh, it's the witch. So yeah, they kind of like push her off. They kind of like assume that since she's a witch, she's gonna be a kind of like an ugly old hag, but she's actually a very beautiful young lady. And so anyway, we have one of the, like, I believe he's a knight, like a servant of the knight, like servant of the king. He's a knight or something. And so he comes to her requesting a love potion, and she's like, oh, I really like this guy. I've been watching him, but I guess he wants another girl to fall for him, so I guess I'll make him this love potion. But it's very hinted that it's her who he does like. You know, it's very hinted. There's only 2 volumes that I have right now. There might be more coming out soon. I just haven't seen them come out yet. But this one is so good. It's kind of like your typical like misunderstanding. Like, you know, he thinks that she doesn't like him because she's upset because she thinks that he wants a potion to make another girl fall in love with him because she has a crush on him. It's very like a miscommunication, so it can be frustrating at times, but it's just really nice to see these two interact because she is absolutely a social outcast, being a witch, kind of living on the edge of town, and then him being like from the royal like kingdom, like a knight, you know, very popular boy. So like, yeah, it's very good. I would definitely recommend it. Definitely probably like an 8 out of 10 as well. So this next one, I would give this one a 9 out of 10. This is also a very short, I think it's like 4-volume series, which is a Fiance of the Wizard. So basically you have this girl and this guy and their childhood friends, but then he kind of goes off to war, comes back as like a different person almost. Like, he's a little bit more meaner, a little bit nastier, but he's still very much in love with her. They're still very much in love with each other, and it's a really good story because, you know, he's been to war, he's seen some things, he's changed a little bit, but he still is very much in love with the girl. But she thinks because he's changed into like a little bit of a nastier person that he doesn't actually like her anymore. And yeah, it's still very good. It's a really good one. Once again, it's very short. It's like 4 volumes, but it's also kind of like your typical like miscommunication, but it gets resolved very quickly and in a good way because, once again, only 4 volumes, very short. You're gonna kind of have to do that, but it's very cute, and I would definitely recommend this one for like a quick read. It's a very happy one, so just let me put that out there. It's a very happy one, and the outfits on both of them are just stunning, and there's like them when they were like children. It's very, very cute. Definitely a 9 out of 10 for me. Next we have My Little Monster. I'm sure we all know about this one. For this one, I'm actually going to give it like a 6 out of 10 because I don't love it as much as I used to. I remember actually watching it on YouTube. Like when I was in middle school. I remember this one from middle school. And to be fair, when I first started reading this one, I was like, oh yeah, I love this one. It's really good. But now that I'm older, I don't quite like, once again, kind of the same thing with Horimiya, is when the couple are just kind of like the word's not abusive, but they do kind of like hit each other a lot. Like, he is very kind of like, I'm gonna smack you, I'm gonna punch you, and she's also like, well, if you're gonna do that to me, I'm gonna do that back to you, you know? I mean, it fits the name. He is kind of like a little monster, but like, genuinely, it's not something that I would love anymore, you know? I still do like these characters, and I still like the story. I like how, you know, he's just kind of like, I really like you. I'm gonna be like your dog. And then she's like, ew, get away from me, you loser. I kind of like that, you know, dynamic where they kind of come to understand each other, because he doesn't understand why she's very like, perfect student, I need to get good grades, fun is for losers, you know, and then she doesn't understand like that he's got a lot of like trauma and stuff from his past, and like that's kind of why he's a little bit messed up because of that. There's a lot of like, you know, things that they get over with, you know, being together and like, you know, becoming friends first as well. But like genuinely, I would give it a 6 out of 10. I think that's fair. Next, this is actually the manga series that brought me back into collecting manga, which is Cheeky Brat. I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10 because if you had asked me within the first couple of volumes, how would you rate Cheeky Brat? I think I definitely would have given it a higher score. I think like maybe like 7, 6, probably 7 out of 10 is probably fair, because the one thing that I don't like about the series is just how much it drags their relationship out. This is Yuki, our main character Yuki. This is, I forgot what your name is. What is her name? Naruse. Yeah, Naruse is kind of like your typical like bad boy, and she's like the basketball girl like coach. She's, for some reason, she's like the coach of the basketball team, the boys basketball team, and so the reason he joins is because she's on that team, because he really likes her, but he's kind of like your school delinquent, gets in trouble a lot, fights a lot, you know, all the girls love him, and she's like, men, I have to deal with so many kids at home because my parents just didn't know when to quit. I don't have time for men. I don't need men, you know. My brothers are all useless, and, you know, basically that kind of girl. And so, you know, the thing is, she likes him, but it just takes her so long to get to that point where she's like, oh, maybe I actually do like him, you know. Like, it's just, it's very drug out. I wish that there would have been more focus maybe on their relationship instead of dragging out her being like, no, I don't actually like you. Because she's very kind of like tsundere without trying to be, because she's like, I've got so much stuff on my plate, and like I'm trying to, you know, keep working and, you know, not focus on the boy because I don't want to admit that I like him. Even though he knows that I like him, I don't want to admit that. So she'll do things, well, she'll like ignore him and like start working instead, and it's just, it drags it out a lot. But I really enjoyed the first few volumes, but not so much at the end anymore. But I did like how the story wrapped up. It was very good. No spoilers, of course, but it was very good. So I'd give this one a 6 out of 10. Next, we have Love Me, Love Me Not. This one, I'm gonna give like a 9 out of 10, because this is like a very good, like, you want a good shoujo romance, here you go. Like, there's not a lot of issues. We'll get to its counterpart, you know, a little bit later, but probably it's the next one. But with this one, everything is very sweet, very cute. Basically, she and boy, a brother sister now is the best way I could put it. Okay, maybe we'll turn back here. So basically, these two, the blonde one and the one with black hair, that's a girl, basically they liked each other, but then their parents got together, and so now they're like step siblings, and so they are like kind of struggling to not like each other anymore. And then these two, black haired boy and the girl over here, are childhood best friends. They don't like each other, but, you know, he might kind of hint that he likes her, but it's not like super, you know, obvious or anything. But anyway, basically, as you can kind of see here, they kind of end up with the boys on their sides, but it's kind of like crisscross, you know. And so it's very cute. It's kind of like, you know, like high school, like kind of getting over like friendships and romances kind of series. So it's very cute. I would definitely recommend it as like a 9 out of 10 if you're just looking for something cute and wholesome and just kind of sweet. Nothing like super like gory, no big drama or anything, because like these two, they're best friends now, but like they don't really get into huge fights, and if they do, there is actual apologies, which I always love when there's actual apologies in these stories. So this one is very, very cute. And now for the counterpart, Alharu Ride, or Blue Spring Ride. So this one is by the same mangaka. If you can't tell by the really big eyes, you can tell that it's the same mangaka. because the art style. But basically, unlike Love Me Not, this one is a little bit more on the sad side. So basically, girl likes boy who kind of goes off and changes because his mom dies and has some family issues, but then they meet later on in high school. This is like in kindergarten or something, maybe middle school. Comes back and he's a different person, and he's had a really rough life. After everything that happened, there was some miscommunication with family members, and like it's kind of led him down a dark path, and it's just kind of the story of like those two rekindling their friendship and then their relationship, because they both liked each other as kids, and now as like teenagers they're like, well, let's give it another try. But also it's kind of like it's a little bit unsatisfying in the anime, I'll say, because it's not ever really confirmed that they ever get together. So that's why I would definitely recommend the manga. No spoilers or anything, but this one I would give I definitely probably give this one like an 8 out of 10, because this one, I have a video planned about Aharu Ride, because it's one of those ones that you really hate or you really like, and I know a lot of people don't like this series because of how cliche it is, because it is one of the big ones, big kind of like romances. So like we'll talk about this one in a whole video, but like genuinely I like this one. I can't help but say it. I like this one. I read it when I was in middle school, watched the anime when I was in middle school. I enjoyed it. It's a good read. Next, I am going to add My Dress Up Darling, because it does focus on a lot of romance. At first, yes, it's very like cosplay and hobbies, but obviously over time, Maureen starts to fall in love with Gojo, and I can't help but say, like on the romance level, I think it's really cute how she's like, oh my gosh, she's so cute, he's like the cutest little thing. I love those chapters where she's just like gushing over him, because I love Maru. Maru? What am I saying? Maureen! I love Maureen. I just love how she's just like, oh my goodness, like she's so Garu. I just love her character. I wish there were more like female characters like her, where they're like, oh my gosh, kind of ditzy in a way, but like, you know, Maureen, she's very cute. I love their like kind of like romance that it's building up to. It's very good. There are some, you know, sexual scenes, because it is kind of like a wrapped manga because of that, because, you know, the cosplays, the boobs can sometimes be out, and there's that one grabbing scene. You know, but genuinely, I do think that there is a lot of romance in this, and I think it's pretty cute. And I can't lie, as someone who cosplays, it's just a cute one. It's a cute one. For romance, I would give it like, I'd give it like a 7 out of 10 for the romance factor, because obviously it's not just romance, but there's a lot of romance towards the end, especially in the manga, but it's really good, and I highly recommend this one. I just do. I like it. I enjoyed it. Next we have My Love Mixup. This one, 10 out of 10. This was a great purchase. I actually went to one of my local like comic book stores that just opened up, and it was like their second day of being opened up, and they just had like a box on the floor because they didn't have like shelves put up quite yet. There was still some like stock in like boxes and whatnot, and I was just going through that, and I found this series, and I was like, huh, that looks interesting. I wonder what this one's about. And I picked it up and I took it home, and I was like, oh, that's a BL. I didn't even know it was. I just picked it up and I was like, it looks interesting. So basically, this whole story is about like, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit confused here, because I was like, is she gonna end up with him or him? I didn't know it was a BL. So basically, the synopsis of this story is that these two, this girl and this guy, are best friends, and he likes her, but she has an eraser that has this guy's name on it, and so he now thinks that she likes him, when in reality, it's a completely different guy that is not even shown on this cover that she likes, that is actually one of this guy's like good friends. And so it's just kind of funny how it works out, but these two kind of like start dating because he thinks that it's him, the eraser belonged to him and not her, and he also thought it was it was his name and not that other guy's. But anyway, they kind of like start dating, and like it's obviously at first kind of like a ploy, like, oh, I don't want to embarrass this girl, so I'll take the heat and say that I'm the one who likes the boy, because my man here, he's a good friend. He doesn't want to hurt her feelings or whatever. But anyway, they actually start dating, and it's definitely like kind of like, I wouldn't say fake dating, but it was like just testing the waters kind of dating, and then they just kind of realize that they like each other, and it's very wholesome, it's very sweet, and there's just a lot of really good tropes in this. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there was a whole scene where the boy, I forgot what their names are. McCoy actually has this job where he has like the senior at the job who becomes really close friends with him, and then the senior finds out that he's dating a boy and gets very like, oh, ew. And there's a whole scene about kind of just like teaching like this guy to be a little bit more open-minded and, you know, like, hey, chill. You know, it's very good. It was very, very good. I really love this series. This is finished, and I do have it finished in my collection. This was genuinely such a good read. This is a 10 out of 10. It's wholesome, it's sweet, it's just nice. It's just a good time. This next one is Fly Me to the Moon. This one, I would say I'm gonna give this one a 5 out of 10. I am anxious to finish it, but it's just a little bit weird because basically this girl kind of comes out of nowhere to this random guy, and she's like, hey, let's get married, because, you know, a while back she actually saved him during a car accident, and she's kind of, you know, hinted at being a celestial being, like a goddess of some sort, someone who possesses magic, but the boy doesn't know this, and so he just kind of like lives with this girl, and they get married. And all is well. Like, he's like, I have a pretty wife, and I have a roof over my head, and a job. So everything is good. And, like, she kind of has, like, magical, celestial, like, sisters and, like, friends or whatnot who are trying to, like, mess with this relationship. And it's a lot. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot. There's a lot of cliches in this. It's a little bit like, there's a lot that you're not telling me, and I know you're trying to save this up for the big reveal at the end, but I'm getting a little bit annoyed because we need to know more about her. Like, I'm like roughly volume 5 out of this series, and I still don't know anything about her. So yeah, I can't say that it's one of my favorites because the romance was not built up. It was just kind of like she knocks on his door one day and she's like, hey, let's get married. And then they get married. It's very weird, you know, so I would give this one a 5 out of 10 just because of those factors, but it's not a bad read. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad read. This next one only has 3 volumes, so it's also a very good read. This is Love in Focus. So basically, the girl, the guy, childhood best friends, he likes her, but then they meet this guy, and he kind of like ends up, you know, kind of hinted at these two getting together, even though the manga series kind of ends with nobody ending up with anyone. It's very hinted that these two like each other and that they will get together, but once again, it's only 3 volumes. It's very short, so if you want a short read, it's a good one. I do recommend it, but I just didn't feel satisfied because they didn't really end up with each other. It wasn't like 100% confirmed. It was confirmed that these two like each other and that they probably are going to date, but we don't really get to see them, you know, like dating or anything, and this poor dude is kind of like just kind of left off to the side. He's like, well, missed my chance, and you know, it's kind of like bittersweet at the end. So for me, I would give this one a 6 out of 10, but it definitely was a good read. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the camera aspect, which I won't spoil, but I enjoyed that and kind of how, like, you know, a lot of people are getting over their like past traumas via cameras and stuff. But anyway, I really liked this one, so I would give this a 6 out of 10. It was an enjoyable read. I don't know how to rate this one. I'm gonna be honest. This is LDK. How am I gonna rate this one? I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Because it's very cliche. If you want like your cheesiest, just like K-drama cliche-esque, just like cliche everywhere type of story, this one's for you. Basically, high school kids, they have to live with each other. It's just cliche all over the place. Like, I'm sorry, but it's just cliche. Like, cliche. Like, there's like your kind of like weirdly sexual scenes. There's like, you know, the cute scenes and like the weird girls trying to break them up because they're like, how dare you date the popular boy? Oh my god. It's like every single Wattpad cliche that you can find is in this series, but somehow I still kind of enjoy it. It's definitely one of those that if you're looking for something a little bit more, you know, like thought out, then this one might not be the one for you, because once again, it's very like overused cliches. It's like they took every single cliche from every single anime and put it in here, but I enjoyed it. I can't help but to admit that I do kind of like it. It's like a guilty pleasure one for me. Next we have Sorry But When Are They Best, which is Kamisama Kiss. It's just one of the best. It really is. Once again, this one's not fully just about romance, but there's so much romance between Tomoe and Nanami that I have to put it in here. Like, I mean, come on, that's like one of the big factors of this like series, is that these two end up together. So I would definitely recommend this one as like a 9 out of 10 for romance, because there is more. It's not just about romance, because there's a lot of like responsibility that Nanami has, like becoming the god of the shrine and like meeting other like kind of like mystical, magical kind of creatures and beings, and so there's a lot more to it, but it's just very good. It's really good to kind of see how they are like, in a way, fated lovers and like destined to be together, and you kind of see how like that affects the two, because they just did not like each other in the beginning. It's really nice. It's really cute, so I have to definitely give this one a 9 out of 10. It's just, I mean, come on. The music is so good! I'm sorry, this one's gonna be probably the lowest ranking one that I have, but I am determined to finish out the series. This one's a 3 out of 10. Yeah, 3 out of 10 for me, which is Wolf Girl and Black Prince. If you know, you know, I needn't say anymore. Basically, this guy is like, just the worst guy. The worst guy that you would ever meet. I don't know how anyone could fall in love with him, because he's such a jerk and I hate him so much. But anyway, the girl is kind of dumb, because he literally tells her to get on her knees and bark like a dog for him. He's literally like insane, crazy, just demented, awful guy. I can't give him any pity. I don't like him. This does not feel like a romance to me. This feels like a really weird fetish, but I do want to finish it because I haven't seen the manga ending. I've obviously watched the anime, but obviously the manga has a different ending because the anime doesn't always like end the way that the manga does. It leaves out a lot of stuff, so I do want to finish it to see if it maybe will change my mind. But for right now, Wolf Girl Black Prince, 3. This one I'm really interested in, and I want to find more volumes of it. I just can't, which I hate because I love this one. This one's 8 out of 10, which is Hatsuharu. So basically, you kind of have your like playboy here who kind of goes from girl to girl, but eventually he finds one that's different from the typical girls that he goes for. This girl is a lot more like kind of like strong, independent girl. I don't need no man, whatnot, but he is just down bad for her, and it's really cute because she kind of has this weird crush on, like, I believe she has a crush on a teacher, which is kind of like girly pop, what you think, what are you doing? But anyway, he's just kind of trying to break her away from that because obviously, you know, can't really be dating a teacher, and I think he's also like married to someone now. He's like childhood best friend, but you know, he became a teacher at the high school she goes to, whatnot. So he basically was like her babysitter, took care of her, so that's why she likes him. But you know, he's like in a relationship and he's your teacher now, so like you're gonna have to kind of get over him. So anyway, it's a really kind of like cute story of how he kind of changes his mind a lot. His personality really changes from being kind of like your stereotypical fuckboy to like a really nice guy who's really trying for this girl. And it's just really cute seeing how they kind of progress over time. So this one is definitely like an 9, 8 out, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I really like this one, so 9 out of 10. 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. I've said my piece about this one. You can disagree with me if you like. I know a lot of people really like this one, and a lot of people did disagree with me. I'm sorry, but personally, I cannot give Living Room Matsunaga-san a very high rating. Even though I do think that the art is very nice. I think he looks really good, not gonna lie. His art is like the reason that I picked up this series in the first place. I'm sorry, I just can't get over the fact that they live in a boarding house. And she's like 17 and he's like 27, 28. And to be fair, they didn't start dating until she was like, you know, at least 18 and kind of getting out of high school. But it still just kind of rubs me the wrong way, the way that they were kind of like, you know, sharing like common spaces and like, you know, sharing a bed sometimes, and like her still being in high school. It was a little bit iffy to me. I didn't quite love that for obvious reasons. So I can't give this one necessarily the highest rating. I actually was rooting for the boy, the other boy, who was like her age. I was rooting for him more than I was for this guy, to be fair, because he's like nearly 10 years her like senior. 10 years. There's like a pretty big age gap. And like, to be fair, I don't really care about age gaps as long as one of the parties isn't a minor. That's when I think things get a little bit sussy. So in my opinion, I can't rank this one very high. I've said my piece on this one. I just can't rank it very high. So anyway, 5 out of 10. Okay, this one I only have 2 volumes of, but I already love it so much. So I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10 just because I have not seen too much of it. But it is Shikimmore's Not Just a Cutie. I need to watch this anime so bad. I'm sorry, but this is so cute. Like, it's just so cute. Like, basically the girl is like super hot, super beautiful. She can do anything. She can do any and everything. She's like the coolest person at school. And her boyfriend's just kind of like, go honey. Woo! My girlfriend's so pretty, you know, very supportive guy. And she's like, oh my god, he thinks I'm so cute. You know, it's a very cute relationship that they have. And it's obviously kind of comical at times. But this one's just a really good, like, comforty, kind of like feel good. I like this one. It's very cute. It's really nice seeing another pink-haired girl, especially a confident pink-haired girl. Very cute. So this one's definitely like an 8 out of 10 for me. Next, we have A Sign of Affection. This one definitely has to be ranked high. This is like a 9 out of 10. First and foremost, I love how the anime looks. It really feels like it's the cover. Like, they did not change the art style too much, and I love that. I really love the art style that this anime went with, but besides that, it's just a very good series. I like that it kind of like shows, you know, like how he's trying to really, like, you know, do his best for her because she is hearing impaired, and so he's learning sign language for her. He likes her so much that he's learning things for her, and I can't not say that I feel bad for the, I'm gonna call him the second lead. They were childhood best friends, him and the girl, but I can't not feel too bad, but I too feel a little bad because he was a little bit of a bully to her, you know, but he did like her, and he just didn't realize that he was, you know, hurting her and whatnot. But anyway, it was a very cute one. I don't want to spoil this one. It was really, really good. I really highly suggest this one. This is one of the ones that I'm like, if you're gonna go to Barnes & Noble today, pick this one up because you're gonna love this one. Besides, also, the covers are just so beautiful. Like, oh my god, it's so pretty, so pretty, and I love a good pink-haired girl. Next, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, Wotakoi, 10 out of 10, because it's both relationships. Both relationships are so good. You have obviously our main couple, and then you have our side couple. The main couple is great because obviously, once again, childhood best friends who kind of grow up and parted ways, and like, it's just really cute, like the scenes where he's like piercing his ears in the bathroom because she says that she likes guys with pierced ears, and like her boyfriend at the time had like pierced ears. Like, he really does try to like make her like him, but you know, the fact that, you know, he's kind of like socially awkward, gamer boy, doesn't really, you know, think that he ever has a chance with her. And it's just really cute to see her like finally realize, oh, dang, maybe I liked him this whole time. Shoot. And then even the second couple where they're just kind of like fighting all the time, but like genuinely, they just have moments where they talk it out, and it's just so nice. It's two really great relationships. I can't lie. They're just all around. Even the third relationship, every single relationship in Wotakoi is just good. So for me, it's a 10 out of 10. And I just love the fact that it like paints like otakus and like weebs and like your nerdy people in like a good light. Because there's so many animes that don't. And I love that it's like, hey, we're adults and we just, you know, we spend our money on things that we like. We might be cringe, but we're free. I have Marmalade Boy, which I'm a little conflicted on. So I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 because there's a couple things that I don't like. I'm okay with these two considering that they live in the same house. They have this really weird, I feel like it's a cliche thing, where both of their parents, so like they don't have the same parents, obviously. It's like one set of parents and then one set of parents, but like the mom over here gets with his dad, and then his mom gets with her dad, and then they all just kind of form this like poly couple almost, where they're like kind of all together, and they're like, we all live in the same house now. So in a way, weirdly enough, they're like step siblings, but they don't classify themselves as, because they know that it's such a weird situation that they have. And honestly, the thing that got me like kind of icked out with this one is that her best friend is like super in love with the teacher, and like he's caught, you know, the school catches that he and this like teenage girl, his student, were like, you know, seeing each other outside of school. Like, I think she even went over to his apartment once, you know, like crazy stuff, and, you know, fired him for it. And there's still scenes where she's like, I miss him so much, I'll never be in love again. And then there's this other boy who's like, I'm gonna try and woo her. Yeah. So like it's a little to me. I can't say that it's one of the best things I've ever read, but I do like the story. It's kind of cute. It's weirdly cliche on these two people's, you know, behalfs, but yeah. That's all I'm gonna say about Marmalade Boy. I don't think if I keep speaking about it that I could say anything super nice about it. So I'm just gonna stop and move on to Fruits Basket, which is something that I could yap about for days because I love this series so much. I love Fruits Basket. It's one of my favorites. Like, I'm sorry, but Kyo was perfect from her. Just perfect from the beginning. He was perfect for her in the story. And there's so many really good love scenes, so many really good, like, you know, love stories, not just like Kyo and Toro, but so many other couples that are really good, and it's just all around, it's good. Once again, it's not fully just a love story, but like, it's just good. The love is so good in this one. Like, kind of Toro being so kind, just such a kind character, helping Kyo kind of learn that he is accepted, that he does have someone who actually cares about him when he does transform into his kind of like a monstrous form. She still loves him. She still goes out to find him. And even at the ending, when they do actually get together, like, oh my god, it's just cinema. It's cinema. It's so good. So yeah, Fruits Basket might be biased here, but it's a 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10. 10. Finally, I'm on to the last pile back here. Ouran High School Host Club. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10, just because I definitely feel like I've read things that I would consider better now. This was peak for me, don't get me wrong. This was peak. 10 years ago, Emily was like, yeah, peak. Because genuinely it was. When I started getting into anime, this was like peak romance. I was like, I'm never gonna find anything like Ouran High School Host Club. And to be fair, I feel like Kaguya-sama Love is War is kind of like on the same wavelength for me, because Ouran High School Host Club, one of its charms is that it's very funny. It's a very big comedy, but there are some like scenes like with Kyoya that I can't say I enjoy. There are some things that I don't like about the series, but I really do love the fact that like this is a very like comedical style of like romance, which maybe that's just what I really like, because, you know, like I said, it really reminds me of Kaguya-sama. But yeah, the twincest thing, a little bit weird. The Kyoya thing, a little bit weird. Tamaki though, always a saint. We love Tamaki Soho, so yeah, definitely like maybe I'll give it a 7. I'm gonna give it a 7. 7 out of 10. Next, we have Special A, which is also one of the ones that I actually first ever watched on YouTube. I love this one. I can't deny how much I love this one. The manga is beautiful, by the way. It's so beautiful. The art style is so pretty. But yeah, basically with this one, these two are like childhood best friends who are like also rivals. Childhood rivals is probably the better word to say than best friend. But they're rivals, and they, you know, compete their entire lives until they get to high school. The boy has a massive crush on the girl, but she's just like, I want to beat him. I'm going to become number 1, because he's number 1 and she's like number 2. So her goal is to beat him, but, you know, it kind of turns into a romance, and it's just good. Once again, it's kind of very similar in a way to Ouran High School Host Club, with like rich kid school, and then the kid who isn't necessarily rich but works hard to get into the school. So if you do like Ouran High School Host Club, I would definitely check this one out, because it's very reminiscent in ways of Ouran High School Host Club. Next, we have Kimi no Todoke. This one is so cute. I have to give it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. I just love it. I love that he's like teaching her that like she's not scary. that she's not a bad guy and that she's not an outcast. I love that. I love stories like that. I really love to see like how they kind of like progress and like get to know each other and how that blossoms into a relationship. If you know this story, then you know it's a 9 out of 10. Nothing more to say. It's just a 9 out of 10. It's a good time. It's a good story. It's a soft story. Even some of the side couples still pretty good, even though, you know, there's some iffiness, you know, with some of these side couples. It's still a good time. This is actually a new one that I've been seeing like go around a lot for like animes where people are finding out about a condition called love. I love this one so much. I can't get over the main girl. She is just so cute. Utaru, she's so cute. I love that they didn't make her like your stereotypical like long-haired pretty girl who's like, oh, I'm not even that pretty. I just like that they kind of made her very average, and then he's just like, whoa, you know, because she's like, I don't really care about dating, like I'm just kind of trying to get through life. And he's like, do you like me too? And like it's really cute how she kind of teaches him, you know, that like he doesn't need to be in relationships to be loved, because they start off as friends but obviously they get together, and it's just a really cute one, and the anime is so good. Also, he is very attractive. I cannot lie about that. Very attractive anime boy. This one, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Next we have a honey lemon soda, which for me, I don't think it's a bad one, but for me, I didn't quite enjoy it so much. I'm gonna give it like a 6 out of 10, just because I personally didn't really enjoy it. I know a lot of people who do enjoy this one, and it's not bad. It's just not really up my alley. It's very kind of slow paced. You got the popular boy and the not so popular girl, you know, kind of got made fun of a lot girl, and to me, it's very slow build, and I wasn't completely thrilled by that. I felt like the relationship just advanced a little bit too slow for me personally. This is just my own personal opinion. But yeah, I would give this one a 6 out of 10, because there's a lot, you know, there's a lot that the main character, has to kind of overcome before, you know, getting into a relationship, and same with him, but it's very hinted that they like each other, so it's a very cute one, so I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Next, we have Shortcake Cake. I'm trying to move my stack, but it fell over. So, Shortcake Cake. This one actually kind of threw me for a loop, because I found out something that I'm not gonna spoil, but yeah, basically, this one I like. This one kind of confused me. It kind of threw me for a loop when I found out who she does end up with, who I'm not going to spoil. But I was not thinking that she was going to end up with that person. So I'm kind of like, huh, that got me. Because I usually feel like I know who the main character is going to end up with. I think we all kind of know. But like this one threw me for a loop. So I'm going to give it a higher rating. I'm going to give it a 10. Just because I really like the story so far. It's been really good. They live in a boarding house, but like the relationships are all really good. Like I really enjoyed it. I don't want to give too much spoilers away, because I don't want to spoil who she ends up with if you don't know, because you know that's a big point of the story. But it's a really good one, and I just love the characters. I love that her name is Ten, by the way. It's a very cute name, and I just love it. I think it's so good. I think it's such a good story, and like I love boarding house stories. I can't lie. I like the boarding house ones, but the boys are really nice. I'm glad that they like take care of her. We'll say that. So yeah, I'm gonna give this one a 10 out of 10, because I really enjoyed this one. We have Like a Butterfly. For me personally, I like the story, but maybe this is just my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of stories where the guys have like blonde hair, or they're like not necessarily super cool or anything. I don't know. If you're a blonde-haired anime boy, I'm probably not gonna like you. That's just my own personal opinions. But anyway, I do really like the story about how she's trying to get over her fear of like talking, and then like, you know, the boy is just kind of trying to get over his fear of like girls and like people as well. So they make a really good couple, and it's a very sweet, innocent kind of like series. Like it's a very long build up to them getting together. It's a very long build up, but it's very sweet and innocent and cute. So I would give this one an 8 out of 10. Next we have Boarding School Juliet, which I wish more people talked about, because I love this series. This is so good. This is like a 9 out of 10 for me. I loved Boarding School Juliet. It's kind of what it sounds like. It's boarding schools. It's like I'm gonna say, I guess it's like a big boarding school that has like two opposing sides, kind of like Romeo and Juliet. And so you've got like, you know, the white side and then the black side, and so they kind of like fight all the time, and like the girl and the boy, like Juliet and like the Romeo, they're kind of like, you know, big leaders of those sides, and then they fall in love and kind of like bring the school together, and like also kind of bring the school against each other before they bring it together. But it's very cute, and like it's really nice to see this, just because at first like these two were rivals, like they hated each other, and the boy just kind of fell in love with her and then was really nice to her, and she was like, huh, maybe they're not as bad as I thought they were. And then they just kind of fall in love, and it's really cute. It's genuinely a good one. Like I said, I love school stuff. I love these like magical schools and whatnot. It's a good time. So this one I'm gonna give like an 8 out of 10. It's just enjoyable. I love it. Next, this one's a little bit weird. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit weird. It's a strange concept, but it gets you thinking sometimes, which I like. So this is My Secret Affection. So basically this is like, I think this is only like 2 volumes, maybe 2 or 3 volumes. It's a very short one. But anyway, basically a meteor hits the world, so that like now instead of like, you know, heterosexual couples being like the norm, it's now like same-sex couples are the norm. And if you're heterosexual, it's like you're kind of like an outcast. So like it definitely gets you thinking about our own society and how like if tables were flipped, and I really like stuff that kind of makes you think like that. But it's a really good one. Once again, it's really short, but I really like how it's not like, oh yeah, like you two can't be together. It's like people are like, oh, you know, it is what it is. If you two want to be a straight couple, it is what it is. And I think that says volumes for what society should be and what could be if there weren't so much prejudice in the world. But genuinely, this is a very cute one. Once again, it's very short, but it's a really good one. So I highly suggest this one. I'm gonna give it like a 7 out of 10, I think, actually. 7 out of 10, because it's not the best thing I've ever read, because it is very short, but I like it. It's a pretty good one, you know? And like the scene with like her grandpa on the back is very cute. It's very cute. Or like, I think that's his grandpa. Somebody's grandpa. Next, we have 365 Days to the Wedding. This one's also kind of like your kind of cute one, because it's like these two people, they work at the same company, and they decided to get married because they didn't want to travel overseas, because he has a cat and he doesn't want to leave the cat because he lives by himself, and she just didn't want to go on this trip. So like they just decided to get married so they didn't have to like move. Like they were planning to move, I believe it was from like Japan to like Alaska or Iceland or something like that, somewhere where it was much colder. And like it's cute. It's just funny because now they're in this like predicament where they're like, well, I guess we're getting married. We know nothing about each other, and they're both social outcasts. Like they are very socially awkward, and they're like, huh, you like jazz? You know, like they just don't know anything about each other, and they're trying their best to convince people at work that they are a couple when they really aren't. But it's cute, and it's a good one. So I really can't wait for more of these volumes just to see how they progress. And like it's sweet, it's cute, it's like a good webtoon. I feel like this would be a really good webtoon, but I would give this one like an 8 out of 10, just because, to be fair, the main characters don't have a whole lot of personality, but it's still pretty good. It's really enjoyable, and once again, I can't wait to see how they progress as a couple. Next, we have probably my second favorite manga, so I am going to have to give this one out of 10 out of 10. I don't care, I'm biased, I know. 7 Time Loop. It's one of my favorite ones. I can't get over how much I love this one. Like, I love this one. Basically, the guy that she ends up with in her now 7th life was the one who killed her in her last life. So there was some prejudice, there was some anger going into this relationship, but then she kind of like realizes who he really is, and it changes her entire perspective about who this man is. And once again, I won't give any spoilers because this is such a good one, and I highly recommend everyone to go and check out the 7 Time Loop because it is so good. It's my second favorite one besides If Witch Then Witch. This one's just so good. Also, I love me a good pink-haired girly protagonist and a pretty black-haired boy. It's what I like. Next, we have Skip and Loafer. Skip and Loafer is kind of iffy with me. I'm kind of like, with this one, because I like it, but it's also very casual, very kind of innocent. Like, they're at school, and it's more so about, like, kind of navigating your way through school as a teenager with like friendships and then relationships. So it definitely takes a while to build up the main characters and the relationships, but like genuinely, this one's really cute, and I just love the couples. I love how funny our main character is. She is so funny, and the side characters are even good too. Like, there's just so many good characters in this. It's a good story. Once again, it's very like kind of like casual, so like if you just need something to put you in a good mood, this is the one. This is the one. So I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10 because I really just like this one. It's a good one to read. And last but not least, we have I'm in Love with the Villainess. I am not fully done with this series. There's a lot that I haven't read yet, so I'm only going to be judging what I have read. But so far, I really do like this one. Obviously, it's a kind of like more of a Yuri. And so the girl here with the brown hair, she is actually a person, a human, who somehow gets digitalized, somehow ends up in one of her favorite games where she is supposed to be like the main protagonist who goes after one of the 4 or like 3 or 4 like princely handsome men, and instead she's like, nah bro, I want the villainess, I want my rival. And it's very cute and it's very funny, and she's very kind of like pressy to like get this girl to like her. She's like, I really like you, I'll do anything you want me to, I am so in love with you, I am so down bad for you. And it's kind of funny because obviously she's the villainess and she's like, peasant, ew, get away from me. And it's funny to see their dynamic. It's very cute so far. But I do also like, once again, magic school, and we got some wands. I love that kind of stuff. I love that kind of like magical school video game kind of thing, whatever. I love it. It's very cute. And yeah, that is the ones that I have. I have more that I could talk about that are a little bit like either lesser known, but also, you know, maybe it's a series that is like action, that has a little bit of romance, but these were the ones that I'm like, yeah, this is like romance. So if you want to see anything more like that, let me know down below in the comments. If you want to see more videos about me like talking about manga and whatnot, let me know. Tell me down below, what is your favorite like either shoujo or just like romance in general series? What is your favorite romance? Who are your favorite couples? Let me know down below in the comments. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!